The road to the Super Bowl, it starts now at Cameron's Garage, located here at Cypress Point Resort, out on Hollybush Road here in Rankin County. I think technically this is the mailing address here is Brandon, so call it what you want. I call it Rankin County. Right off Highway 25, you're coming east on 25 through Castle Woods and all that stuff. Take you a right on Hollybush, and it'll lead you right down here to Cypress Point Resort. And it's called Resort because it is a massive, massive piece of property. It's a massive venue, and it is just added as a resort. Is it not, Sean?
Yeah, it's great. I mean, it really is. Coming out here for the national championship game was it was pretty impressed, especially with the market in there. It's really cool.
It is, man.
Yeah, really great market there.
It's all really, really cool. And we're inside Cameron's Garage here. I'm just gonna y'all bear with us 1 second. We're just working through everything here. I'm just gonna make sure that we can, in fact, hear ourselves, that we have volume. I'm just clicking on something. All right, we successfully have volume.
Yep.
We are good. If y'all have tuned into our shows, you know that has been an issue here and there as we learn new equipment and what works and how it works and all of that stuff. I've got Sean Yerkron, my partner in crime here, one of my best friends here lately or over the last year, and football fanatic.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, especially about NFL. Now I get to talk about something I know about a good bit about. That's what I feel a lot more comfortable than, having to research. And I know about college football, but not like Teddy. Teddy's our resident genius on that.
Yeah, Teddy told me after the last week, I'm gonna skip out on the pro.
Yeah, he doesn't know the pro stuff.
He said he said me and my father-in-law. That's what we do. We watch that, and I think Teddy's probably. I'm not saying he's not an NFL guru. He probably is, but I think college is really where he sinks his teeth into a little bit more.
Sure.
I used to be, I don't know, man. I'm a Mississippi State guy, and I keep up with what goes on in and around the SEC. But NFL is really it's easier to follow for a long amount of time. And college has gotten really difficult with the NIL and the transfer portal. Yeah. It's not that it's not interesting. I still like it, all that good stuff. It's interesting in a different kind of way now.
Right.
And I just haven't gotten used to who all the players are, where they're coming, where they're going, all this, that, and the other. With recruiting being, it's not as important as it's still, obviously, the lifeline of a program is your high school recruiting.
Right.
But it's just gotten harder to keep up with. With that said, pro is a little easier to keep up with. There's only 32 teams.
Yep, that's one thing. That's the main thing, right?
Yeah, and the players typically stay with teams longer than a year.
Yeah, I mean, and they're in major cities for the most part, except for like one team today, Buffalo, but most of the times it's a big city, and you can just kind of keep up with it easier. It's easier to flow, and there's just a draft. There's not recruiting. There's a draft, and you can research the draft and know that, but there's not. But that's it.
Yeah. Well, look, man.
Some people get in the weeds though about cap space and all these and I don't do that. I don't go into all that stuff. But there is people that are really into that.
Yeah, 100%. So we're here in the sports bar at Cypress Point. It's called Cameron's Garage. We were out here for the national championship game, and I've been out here several times and done some shows prior to our football excursion here. Fred Shanks and I came and did a show one day for their grand opening. Just really love this place, like being a part of what they're doing out here. If you're looking for somewhere to come watch some football today, the crowd is starting to come on in here. People don't start rolling into about 2 o'clock in sports bars on Sundays. The buffet, however, on the other side of the building is slam packed. Yep. I just went over there to use the restroom. The after church lunch crowd is slam jam, thank you ma'am over there.
That's one thing about Mississippi, the after church crowd to get you flowing on Sundays. Right?
They will, man. If you offer a consistent good lunch, they will come and support it. Yep. And they've got just that here. If you haven't eaten anything yet, you're riding around, got your family with you, maybe you just left church, swing on by here. You ain't got to come in the bar if you don't want to. It is family friendly over here. Don't think it's not. But there is alcohol, obviously. But they do have the big buffet over there. Man, it looked good. It smells good. And frankly, if I wasn't running a little late getting this whole operation rolling, I probably would be sitting over there eating.
Yep.
But I don't manage my time well. So right. I underestimate every time how long it takes to set this operation up.
Yeah.
And I'm a bit of a control freak, and I don't allow anybody to help me.
It actually looks perfect though right now.
It does.
This is the best setup that I think you pulled off. So.
It does. Thank you. It does look good. If we could just figure out a way to make these cables hide a little bit better, we could figure that out. But when you're mobile, it is what it was.
Turn
on.
the sign on.
It was on.
Oh, it was on? Oh,
yeah.
Did I mess it up?
Yeah.
Okay.
There you
looked off. I'm looking at the picture here.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's not very bright.
Okay.
It's
I
not very bright.
messed up. I was looking at my phone, seeing the video stream, and I was like, oh, is that on?
Yeah, that was a gift from Bell Bondsman here, Liberty Bell Bonds.
Yeah, Jody Wages.
Jody Wages, thank
Good
you.
guy.
Jody
Yeah.
Wages gave me that as a gift, and I had not used it, and I busted it out of the box the other night and set it up behind me in the studio at home. And unfortunately, with the light on it, it actually, you can't see it when it's on, but if you cut it off, you can see it. It's kind of weird just the way the reflections work. But we're out here. Let me tell you about the specials real quick, and we'll get back into football and all the other fun stuff. $14.99, all you can eat boneless wings today, all day. The first game kicks off at 2 o'clock. That's going to be Washington and Philadelphia. The second game is the Super Bowl, so to say, in some people's eyes. It's the AFC Championship game. It's the rematch of Buffalo at Kansas City. Can Josh Allen finally get over the hump? That kicks off at 5:30. We're going to break that down. Southern Beverage has provided us with beer specials. So you got Bud Light, Budweiser, Mick Ultra, $14 for a bucket of 5 beers. And we got great door prizes we'll be giving away between the games. So you just got to be present to win door prizes between the games. So excited about that as well. So we'll get back to the sports here. You see the crawl on the bottom of the screen there. It's got all your details on the specials. So we'll bring those to you kind of as we go. All right, Sean, let's start with the ratings. Circle back here.
Yep.
The ratings on the championship game, the college championship game, came in and they were bad.
Were they? I have not seen that
Well,
yet.
it's perspective.
Okay.
Still 20 some odd million people watched it, but it's down 10 million from the first playoff game. I want to say a decade ago.
Really? Why do you
Whenever
think
they
that
started
is?
the playoffs. I don't know. I think a lot of it is attrition. Am I using that word properly? I think a lot of people are burnt out. I think it's too much college football.
Well, I thought the same thing. There was
Too
way
late
too
into the
much.
season.
Yeah, it pushed it too far.
When college football is going into NFL playoffs,
Yeah.
and you've got NFL, 2 big games on Saturday, 2 big games on Sunday, and then you've got the college football on Monday, which happened to fall on the inauguration Monday, and Trump changed the way they did that this year, and he went and did that big event at the Capital One Center where he
Yeah.
signed executive orders like it was a big presentation that a lot
Sure.
of people tuned in
Yeah.
and watched. And frankly, if you didn't have a vested interest into that game, if they're not your team or you're just not a Big Ten, whatever the case may be. Look, there's diehard people. There was 20 some odd million people watched, and that's what they have the ratings for. And I don't know if that includes streaming numbers, and I'm not quite sure how they came to that number, but because streaming has to play into that
Yeah.
nowadays. I mean, it's obviously with YouTube TV,
I would think so.
it's obviously a huge factor.
Yeah, because most people probably are switching to that YouTube TV and those kinds of Hulu TV. That's the other one. And
Did you see that for the first time ever this year, the Super Bowl is going to be available on streaming?
is this the first year?
First year on Fubo,
Fubo.
which to me, I thought that was one of those kind of ghetto
That's me too.
throwaway apps. I'm guessing that is. What channel is the Super Bowl on this year? Is it Fox? Yeah, I think it's Fox. I think Tom Brady's doing the Super Bowl.
Right, but you
Think-
can stream it on your YouTube TV though, right? So it's streaming.
Yeah, but that is considered a cable. You can stream it on your Xfinity app.
Okay.
But
I
as far
gotcha.
as exclusive free streaming, because that app's free.
Okay.
It don't cost you nothing. So you can just log on. If you got the internet, you
Okay.
can watch Super Bowl without having to have terrestrial TV
Oh, okay. That's okay. Yeah.
or cable or anything. So it's the first time ever they're doing that. And Clay Travis, who's usually right about this kind of stuff, he thinks in the next, I can't remember if he said 5 or 10 years, at the rate things are going, I say 5. He thinks it's going to be 100% on a streaming app like Netflix or Amazon Prime.
Netflix is definitely gaming that way with their sporting. I mean, they're really pushing that. They, a lot of this. I mean, they're all. I guess you could call it. We're in the age of the streaming wars. Peacock is picking up playoff games. You see, Amazon had a playoff game this year, didn't they?
Yeah.
I think they did, and so it's all a war and stuff. And now Netflix did with the Mike Tyson Jake Paul fight. Of course, that was a disaster in terms of streaming, but I think they'll fix the issues there, and that'll be
I think they've got it fixed. They're doing Raw, Monday Night Raw.
Yeah,
now
yeah, it
live.
looks great. Yeah, I've been watching that.
Yeah, and they're doing good with that. And I think they've got that figured out. But sometimes you don't know what you don't know till you don't know it.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
No, I mean it totally does. Like, I just I was talking to my sister the other day, and she called me up. She said, "I'm going to cancel YouTube TV," and I said, "Well, why?" And she's like, "Well, I don't watch anything. Do you watch anything on it?" I said, "Not really." And I'm thinking about canceling it myself because I don't know what I'm keeping it for except for football.
So I was going to do the same thing, and then, my dad, he was canceling his cable and trying to save some money, and he's got to have cable.
It's gonna have cable. Yeah, my parents
So,
are the same way.
Got to have it. Like, he ain't like us.
Yeah.
Like I watch everything on YouTube.
Me too.
The only thing I watch on regular TV is sporting events, live sporting events.
That's it. That's the only reason I've got YouTube TV is and then I'll watch the local news channels, in the morning, and that's about it.
Yeah. So, you get however many points, connections with YouTube TV. I think it's 6 or 8. Well, I'm only using 2 in my house, my bedroom and my living room.
So you're giving your dad some?
Yeah, my daughter don't use it. Like, she don't watch regular TV. She just watches Netflix and YouTube, just like me. And so I just gave him that. I'm like, screw it. I'll keep paying that for him and do my good deed there. But I was going to do the same thing for the same reason. And not just because I'm going to do that for my dad. But, yeah, they're going to have to find a way to keep you sports fans, because that's what people are watching for, is sports.
That's it.
And boomers are watching the news, of course, and stream, but they're slow. They'll start dying off, and they're going to have to figure out a way to tie all that in together.
I agree, yeah.
I'm disappointed that YouTube TV isn't tied into YouTube Premium. Like, I should get YouTube Premium with my YouTube TV for $80-something a damn month. You should throw in YouTube Premium as a bonus for that. Now, if they don't have to, it's their business model. They know it better than I do.
Right.
But come on, I mean, what are we paying for YouTube Premium? $20?
Yeah.
It was $15 when it started out.
Is it that much premium? I thought
think
it was like $13.99. Maybe not. Maybe it's more.
Maybe so. I think it went up, actually.
The,
did you see where
Netflix is going up too, right?
Yeah, Netflix posted one of their biggest quarters ever. So they're like, oh, let's raise prices.
Yeah.
That's how you do it.
Corporate America. That's what you're getting.
Look, as much as I love Elon, he's taking the premium package up on X to $30 a month.
Oh wow, really?
Yeah, I mean, it's going up like $6 or $7. I mean, I'm gonna pay it because $6 or $7. But you start getting death by 1,000 paper cuts.
Yeah.
Absolutely. It just keeps happening and keeps happening, and it gets a bit nauseating after a while.
I think I was just thinking about the YouTube TV, and we were talking about YouTube Premium. I'm like, I'll watch ESPN on YouTube TV, but I can just watch the clips of like First Take or whatever on YouTube Premium. So do I need to watch ESPN? You know what I mean?
They're clipping it up and putting it online faster than my need to watch it.
Yeah.
Like same with like wrestling. Like, I don't have to. I'll tell anybody to listen. I still watch wrestling, not nearly as much as I used to. I watch the older stuff, but like the current product, I keep up with it enough because I do still love the pay-per-views, or PLEs as they're called now, premium live events. Because I like to be able to keep up with the storylines enough to know what's going on those things. If I'm sitting around or the WrestleMania comes around, anyway. But like they're clipping stuff up and putting it on their Facebook and Twitter and everything so fast, and YouTube, that what they're doing it for, Sean, is what I've realized. They're not doing it to take away from their live product. They're doing it to spoil reruns, so you watch the live product, and they're making money too. But they're getting everything out there so fast that if you're trying to not watch it, you spoil it, and you're like, hey, dang it, I just got to watch it live. I swear that's the mindset.
That's what they're trying to do. I mean, they do that. The local news is like that. You can watch all the clips of the local news right away, so I don't even need it for that. That's on YouTube Premium.
Somebody, Jonathan says YouTube Premium did go up. Yeah, and look, and it's the one thing. It is my one thing that they can keep raising, and I'm gonna keep paying.
Yeah, it's the one I watch the most too.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Now, in fairness, there's nothing that you can't watch on, as far as I'm aware. There's nothing on YouTube Premium that I can't watch on regular YouTube. I just watch it without ads.
Yeah.
It's like I'm not unlocking any content that I can't already see. But it's being able to watch it without ads.
It's worth it right there, though.
It is, because I watch so much of it.
Yeah.
That I'm like, I don't need the ads. Man, if it was all local ads, it may be different.
Right.
But they're just big national, multi international businesses, conglomerates. I don't need to see an AT&T commercial.
No, right. No, it's worth the money. I mean, of all the apps, and I've said this to several people, of all the apps that I have, that is the one that I would keep, and I get rid of everything, and I'm fine paying for it. It's just worth it. It's I mean, because you can go down such a rabbit hole with it. Anything you want is on YouTube Premium. Anything.
Well, now also pay-per-views are on there.
Yep.
Like pay-per-view wrestling, pay-per-view boxing, all of that is on the app, is in YouTube now. Like, everybody, you don't have to go to a whole nother app now to watch pay-per-views.
Nope.
You can go there. Well, UFC's not. UFC is exclusive to ESPN. And I'm going to tell you, I see that changing here in the next, whenever their deal runs up, I think that's not a great deal for UFC. I mean, it's probably a lot of money, don't get me wrong, but I think it does kind of hamstring their growth potential because you have to be a member of ESPN Plus. You got to pay that $5.99 a month
Yeah.
to even be able to buy the pay-per-views on there.
Right.
So UFC is owned by, I'll remember the name of the company in a minute, but it's the same company that owns WWE. They merged and
Yeah.
did a stock split, whatever. And WWE just signed a huge deal with Netflix here in America for Raw. I'm curious if maybe that's kind of a test run to see how it works, how it goes, the viewership, all that. And could we see UFC pay-per-views or UFC's weekly everything? Could we see a move away from terrestrial TV, to streaming 100% for UFC and do away with the pay-per-view model? And basically the Netflix or Prime buys the pay-per-view for their streaming for more value for the dollar.
Right. Yeah. No, I could definitely see that. I think that's all coming. That's all coming. I mean, and I think this goes down to the base of what we were talking about initially. The cable TV, the age of cable TV is over. It is over. And once our parents' generation, my dad's just like your dad. He's got to have the cable news. Got to be able to sit there and watch it all day. And and my mother even, it's so bad where she made him get like the C Spire or whatever instead of just YouTube TV because she couldn't figure that out. Because that's the way they're used to. But once their generation is not around, I would think it's gonna be completely different. There's no reason for all this stuff. So.
No, I agree. It's going to put them in an interesting situation to see where we go with streaming and what's going to be available and what's not. Because I think the pay-per-view model is becoming antiquated.
Yeah.
Of course I say that because I don't want to have to pay for fights. No. If I can get all my UFC fights on Netflix, something I'm already paying for, all the better.
Yeah, and not to delve into politics at all, because I'm doing a sports show, but I think the independent rise of independent media has been so pervasive that it's actually a good thing that the cable news just became like this, echo chamber of your own, what you want to watch, right? And it's like a bright carnival show, and I'm really glad to see them dying. Like, I think that's good. Like the Fox News, the CNNs, MSNBCs. I'm glad to see that kind of eventually go out to the independent stuff that we see on YouTube.
100%. 100%. It needs to die. Mm-hmm. It's and it's been such a corrosive, toxic platform to begin with, and we've seen now that people can do without it.
Yep.
That people don't trust media
at
all anymore, like big mainstream media. I don't care what side you're on. Like, if you can look at it just through a lens of honesty with yourself, maybe not even in your social circle, and say, they're full of crap.
Yeah, that's right.
I don't care if we're talking about Fox News, MSNBC, CNN, any of them. Like, they're full of crap, and they're trying to craft a narrative for whoever their biggest sponsors are, whoever they tell them to craft the narrative for.
Yeah, I mean, and I was watching this week about the whole Elon Nazi salute controversy, and so I had CNN on, and they crafted this into like, yes, this is what he was doing, when it's obvious that's not what the guy's not a Nazi. You know what I mean? But they turned it into this whole thing, and I'm like, I don't even know how to articulate what I'm trying to say here very well, but it's obviously like he was just raising his hand up. It wasn't like this,
It's something I'm not necessarily familiar with. It's the heart it's a thing you do from your heart to where you kind of throwing your heart out to people. Right. Apparently, it's nothing I've ever done before. Mm-hmm. But once somebody pointed it out and they started showing other people doing it, some of the very people raising hell about him, claiming it was a Nazi salute, AOC in particular. There's multiple videos of her doing the exact same thing.
I mean,
like, what would be the upside to Elon Musk being an effing Nazi?
I don't know. That's what it was so ridiculous about it, I thought.
I mean, what is the less insane obsession with everything they disagree with being a Nazi?
I think that started with I've sent you that thing called Godwin's Law before, where like every online argument will eventually turn into a comparison to Hitler and the Nazis.
Yeah.
And I think it started from there, and then the left kind of just picked up on it, and now everything bad is somehow related to the worst group of human beings ever in human history, pretty much, is the Nazis. Yeah. I don't know. It's kind of cheapened the word, really, when you call everybody a Nazi.
It's the same thing they do with the word racism. It's like when white people are calling other white people racist because of an argument about white people, it's like, I don't know. I don't think that's racism.
It's funny you said. So I was talking to one of my good friends. Mine is a lawyer. He's a black guy, and was telling about their disc golf controversy. And I said, and he said, yeah, man, it's pretty stupid for them to build that course out there because those white kids are gonna get robbed. My black friend told me, and he said, I said, the white disc golfers were calling us racist for pointing that out. I said, how? I mean, we just were regular laughing about how that has happened, how that's evolved into, like white people calling other people racist. It's just,
It has, and I think that was like the real aha moment for me with this racism. Like, nobody wants to be a racist. Nobody wants to be called a racist. It's stupid. But I just had an aha moment somewhere. It was probably in the 2016, 2017 time frame when it was when the left was just going so hard on Trump and Trump supporters, just trying to guilt everybody into not being a Trump. Oh God, I don't want to be called a racist.
Yeah.
Kimberly said I was a racist.
Yeah, right.
And Ashley said I was a racist because I wanted to vote for Trump. I just think that people got tired of it, and like, people knew Trump wasn't a racist, and they kept trying to force this narrative down our throats that everything had to be seen through this lens that didn't exist.
Who said that the other night? Was watching Bill Maher Friday night, and Stephen A. Smith was on, and he said, look, man, I've been in the sports game for a long time. He's like, Trump used to beat all the fights and everything else, and you know what? He's like, everybody loved him. The rappers, everybody liked the guy. He's like, what changed? And like in terms of like, why did you guys say? And this is Stephen A. Smith, who's been lifelong Democrat, was saying this. He's like, what changed when you with this narrative with this guy that everybody really liked prior to this? Now he's a racist, but before everybody just loved him, hanging out with him, and they didn't think he was a racist then. So it was really interesting. You should watch that actually Bill Maher episode with him.
I'm pulling it up now.
It's really good.
I'm pulling it up now on X, see if we can find the clips of that.
Yeah.
Let's see here. That's a minute and a half. What did it say? It says Stephen A. Smith stuns Bill Maher and crowd into silence as he articulates how Democrats have no one left fighting for the American people.
Yeah, that was he went off all night. It's a good episode.
So let's play this clip here, and this is sports related, right?
Yeah, sort of.
We can play this in. Let's see. Y'all bear with me as I pull this up here. And so we got a comment from somebody I want to circle back to also in a minute, talking about they don't watch any sports on their TV, and it feels like they're saying it because of politics. And I just hate that people would let politics ruin their leisure time. Like, if it's something you enjoyed, if you don't like sports, great. But if you enjoy sports, don't let somebody doing something on a football field ruin that for you. And I'm telling you that from personal experience here. Is like, I'm not going to let Colin Kaepernick ruin sports for me, and I did. I'm not going to let the constant Black Lives Matter stuff being thrown down our faces and this end racism stuff that is clearly just pointed at white conservatives. I mean, that's who they're talking about when they say that. I'm not going to let that ruin for me. I'm going to watch sports in spite of, and because if you leave the battlefield, you forfeit your voice. If you leave social media because you're mad, you forfeit your voice in the town square. If that's what you choose to do.
Yeah.
Like I'm saying, my point being, don't let people ruin that for you. Let's play this clip of Stephen A. Smith on Bill Maher.
Here's the deal. The man was impeached twice. He was convicted on 34 felony counts. And the American people still said, he's closer to normal than what we see.
Exactly.
Left. That's what they're saying. He's closer to normal. Why? Because something that pertains, when you talk about the transgender community, for example, and you're talking about the issues that pertain to less than 1% of the population, the Democratic Party came across as if that was a priority more so than the other issues. And so he comes into office. Now you're talking about childbirth, citizenship, and what have you. He knows that's not going to pass the mustard, but he knows that he made that promise. So when he shows up week 1 on Capitol Hill and he says, this is what we're going to do through an executive order, even though it's going to be shot down through the courts and what have you, he's saying, I kept my promise. A lot of other things that he's going to point to that he's going to try to do. I kept my promise. Then you turn around and you look at the left and you say, what promises did you keep? Now, you might know the answer to that. I'm certainly not questioning your knowledge about that at all. What I'm saying is what resonated with the voter. What voter out there can look at the Democratic Party at this moment in time and say, there's a voice for us, somebody that speaks for us, that goes up on Capitol Hill and fights the fights that we want them fighting on our behalf. They didn't do that. And that's why their behinds are home, and that man is back into the White House, and they want to sit up there and talk. You look at the networks right now, they're talking about him. Look at it. This is the latest. Look at him. Here he goes again. Well, you know what here he goes again means? He's doing what he said he was going to do. He promised you he was going to do these things, and he walked into office week 1, and that's exactly what he's doing. And he's saying, y'all do something about it. And when you try to do something about it, he's going to say, look at them now. Now they're concerned about these issues. Were they talking about that during the campaign? Hell no.
Is that the clip you were talking about?
It's one of them. There's several. There's several. You have to watch the whole thing. It's pretty interesting.
Yes. I definitely will.
Yeah, you're gonna look. Yeah, it's really. I meant to text you when I was watching. I was like, man, this and Stephen A. was rocking on. But anyway, speaking of Stephen A., I did watch some take of his on the games today, and whatchamacallit, and we've got I gotta stop saying that. But anyway,
So what did he say?
well, his take has been kind of. I think we've been thinking that the Eagles and the Chiefs seem like the most likely scenario for the Super Bowl, just because the Chiefs have got all the experience and they've been there, and the Eagles were just there 2 years ago, and they've got experience. And what you can't, and it's hard to envision a team like the Washington Commanders, who had 13 losses last year, going to the Super Bowl with a rookie quarterback. Like that's just But actually, Jaden Daniels has had the best rookie quarterback season of any rookie quarterback ever. I actually was reading that yesterday. I didn't realize that, but he has. And then Buffalo, Josh Allen's been playing like a man on a mission. I mean, they've really been playing really well. They actually beat the Chiefs in Week 11 as well. So he hasn't ever beat them in the playoffs. 3 straight playoff losses to Patrick Mahomes, Josh Allen's had. So Stephen A. was kind of predicting a Commanders-Bills Super Bowl, and I've seen others do the same. I'm kind of leaning that way now, too. I've seen that could happen.
Yeah, well, look, he ain't just having one of the best rookie quarterback seasons. We got to start looking at this through the lens of having one of the best quarterback seasons.
Yeah.
I mean, I haven't just looked at the stats, but we got to quit looking at it through the lens of best rookie. I think he's the 4th or 7th. I forget the number. Is it 4, 5, somewhere between 4 and 7 rookie quarterbacks to play in a championship game, a divisional championship game, not divisional.
Conference championship.
Thank you. The conference championship game.
Yeah, Brock Purdy did it a couple years ago.
And none of them's won.
None of them's won. Brock Purdy did it a couple years ago. I don't remember the other ones, but I know he did just about with the San Francisco 49ers. And he lost that game, and then, of course, he won the next year, and they went.
Ben Roethlisberger went to one.
Yeah, I think
and
that's
then he
right.
won a Super Bowl the second year.
The second year, yes, he did. And Dan Marino.
A lot of people get confused on that. They think, I hear people make that mistake all the time. They're like, oh, yeah, Ben Roethlisberger won one as a rookie. No. He went to the AFC Championship game and then went to the Super Bowl. And Dak Prescott had a phenomenal rookie year, and they had a bye.
Yeah.
But then they lost, I think, to Aaron Rodgers. Don't quote me on that. The Packers Aaron Rodgers had Dallas's number in the playoffs. It was just check it off. It was every time. It was like, rip our hearts out.
Yeah, they did, right. And Dallas in the playoffs anyway has been kind of rough the last few years. I mean, they had a few good teams there about 2-3 years ago, but with Dak, and then they flamed out in the divisional round, if I remember correctly. I can't remember if they made it to the NFC Championship. So it's not, Dan Marino went to the AFC Championship in his second season, and he had the 1984 season. He had one of the greatest seasons ever for a quarterback that year. But it's not very common for a new quarterback to do this. Like I said, Brock Purdy just did it. I mean, he went as a rookie in his first year, and then in his second year won the NFC Championship, and then did go to the Super Bowl, losing the Super Bowl onto the Chiefs last year. So, it just boils down to all that. I mean, the name of the game on this, everybody, is that the Chiefs are the most experienced team in football right now. I mean, you can't debate how good they're like the Patriots, where it's that kind of dynasty. And not quite the greatness of the Patriots, but it's slowly getting there. I mean, if Patrick Mahomes goes to the Super Bowl, wins Super Bowl, that's 4 Super Bowls for him, and he's not even 30 years old. He will be 30 years old this fall.
A lot of people forget that, I want to say after what made Brady so great was after those first couple of Super Bowls, I think they had a 10-year drought.
Something like that, yeah.
Now, they were good, but they didn't get back to the Super Bowl for, I want to say, almost 10 years.
Yeah.
And it was the second half of his career
Correct.
that cemented him as the GOAT.
Yeah, because he had those Super Bowls where they beat the Rams that first Super Bowl, and then they beat the Carolina Panthers, I think, the next year. And
One
then
back-to-back.
And then they had like a break, and they beat Donovan McNabb and the Philadelphia Eagles in 05 season. Or 04, 05 Super Bowl. And then they didn't go back. That 07 season, they lost to the Giants, as we all know. They had a perfect season, then lost the Super Bowl. Thank God my Dolphins still have the perfect record. But that was a scary moment. Then they went in 2012 and played 2012 Super Bowl, played the Giants again, lost again. So they didn't win again, I think, till that Seattle Seahawks game, which was the 2014, 2015 Super Bowls in 2015 season. I believe that's right. That's when, like, that drought. So you're right, they didn't win from like 05 till 15, and they didn't win a Super Bowl.
Yeah.
As far as I'm remembering that, just off the top of my head, I believe that's right.
Yeah, I'm trying to pull it up. It didn't necessarily have it kind of how it was. It's probably going to be on a Wikipedia page somewhere, what I'm trying to find.
They had about, you're right, it's about a 10-year drought. And then, of course, they beat the Seahawks. They come in that fantastic game against the Atlanta Falcons that none of us will ever forget. They lost to the Eagles, if you remember, to Nick Foles a few years after that. And then they did win.
About that one.
Right. And I know it's kind of hard. There was a bunch of them, and I figure, I can't remember if there was another. Oh, they beat the Rams. The last one that they won. They beat the Rams. Jared Goff.
Well, forget the Falcons.
No, I'm just saying they beat the Falcons.
Okay.
Then they lost to the Eagles, and then they beat the Rams, and that was kind of their run there.
Yeah. Who did he beat? He beat the Chiefs in the Super Bowl in Tampa Bay.
As a Buccaneer,
Bay.
right? Yeah.
Yeah, that was the 2020. That's a weird one. So you get Tom Brady wins the Super Bowl that year, and then LeBron James wins the championship in the bubble that year.
Right.
But and we really don't count that one. I mean, it counts. It's there. He gets to say, hey, every team played, but it was in the bubble, and it was COVID, and it was all that. But my point being, you had two of sports' biggest stars win championships in the same year, American sports stars.
Yep.
Who won the World Series in 2020?
I don't remember that. You're going to pull that one up. I think it was the Dodgers, but
my gut is saying Dodgers too. 2020 World Series. Who won the 2020? Dodgers.
Yeah,
Dodgers.
So
Dodgers. One of your premier franchises.
Yep.
So the bubble did a lot. I mean, not the bubble. COVID, our biggest sports stars, our biggest franchises stepped up and won.
Yep.
The Lakers, the Dodgers, 2 LA teams. Gosh, I wanted to say they won something else that year too in LA. I was thinking like 3 teams up there won something, but the Buccaneers won the football, so it wouldn't have been one of the big 3. So I don't know. Anyway.
Yeah, but you're right. So it was 2005, 2015 was the 10-year Patriot drought.
Yeah. So to my point about that, circling back to you talking about Mahomes.
Yeah.
Even if this current dynasty comes to an end this year, if he stays healthy and he chooses to play, and the front office does what they can do, Allen and then can go on a run for a couple years, and the Chiefs can always circle back as long as you got a quarterback. I mean, think about all the great players that played with Brady throughout the years, and he outlasted them. Like the different sets of receivers and tight ends and everything. Like Gronk is something that came on late.
Yeah, he was on. Yeah, right. He was a later.
Yeah, like he's on that 2015 and beyond run.
Because Gronk was born like in 1989. He's like 12 years younger than Brady. I mean, Brady had those guys. I think it was like Dante Stallworth, Terry Glenn in the early years, and then of course '07 Randy Moss's incredible season there. Poor Randy never got a Super Bowl. He's really sick now too.
I've heard that, man.
Yeah, I heard he's really sick.
Man, I like Randy, but I do lose respect for people when they act like little crybaby bitches about political stuff, especially when they do it on their sports platforms.
Yeah.
So one thing if you want to do it on your own, It's another thing when you get on ESPN and you start crying about John Gruden saying somebody's got big lips.
Did he cry about that? I never saw that.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, he did. Oh, God.
He cried on TV. It's like, shut up, dude. You were not offended. The guy did have big lips.
Yeah.
Race had nothing to do with that. I mean, anyway, my point being.
Right. Gruden got screwed on that whole deal.
But Gruden got 100% screwed on that.
Yeah.
And hopefully we'll see him back in the NFL. I am my dark horse pick for the Saints coach. I think it could be Gruden.
Yep.
He's got a great relationship with Carr. He's got a good relationship with the team in general. He actually went down to one of their games here recently. And I don't be surprised, and I don't have this on any sources or anything. I don't have sources in the NFL. This is just my trying to read the room. They're the last team to not hire anybody. It could be McCarthy.
That's what I'm saying. McCarthy's a
It
pretty.
could be McCarthy.
Good, if I was them, I'd hire him. I mean, I'd hire Gruden too, but
I would hire Gruden over McCarthy personally. But it's hard to. It's not fair to base McCarthy on what happened this past year either. Your starting quarterback got hurt.
Yeah.
The team chose to sign friggin' Ezekiel Elliott instead of Travis Henry.
Or, Derrick Henry. Yeah.
Derrick Henry wanted to go to Dallas.
Yeah.
And they chose to sign a guy that I think ran for less than 200 yards all year, or less than 300 yards, something ridiculous.
And look at the good that Henry did in Baltimore. Made that team this year.
100%.
100%. I mean, they could
man.
be
Thunder
easily be
and
in this
lightning.
game.
At the beginning of the year, I remember saying when Baltimore was playing, I was really excited to watch what they could do this year with Henry and what that opened up the possibility for Lamar Jackson to do. And it met and exceeded all expectations.
They did it.
And the one dropped the one dropped 2-point conversion
That was it.
from playing this week.
Yep. What a great game that was too.
Yeah, I sat right here and watched that game.
That was incredible. The and just going back to you, circling back to Patrick Mahomes, this is his 7th straight AFC Championship game.
Is that a record?
I don't know if that's a record. I don't know if that's a record or not. I have to find that out, but I know it's his 7th straight. That is, I mean, you talk about what it takes to do that for 7 straight years. That's incredible. I mean, and that's a team
Staying healthy.
Stayed healthy. He had Tyreek Hill in first, and then they get rid of him, and they're like, heck, we're still good. I mean, they have, and also, you got to give credit to Andy Reid. Reid did that with the Philadelphia Eagles, if you remember. He brought them to like 4 straight with Donovan McNabb, of all people.
We got a device on.
I don't.
Boy, I was hearing an echo, hearing a device coming through some of this. You don't have anything streaming in the background?
Let me cut this off real quick.
Yeah, you had your stuff streaming there.
I'll try it now. I had the restream on. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't know why it does that on this when the second device. I guess it's not necessarily intended for the second device to be in the room.
Yeah, I guess not.
Yeah, I guess maybe intended to be off-site, maybe.
Okay.
I don't know why. That's speculating because it's happened before.
Yeah, it has happened before. That is weird.
So kind of figuring this out. Because what happens, so y'all know, what we do is like we have this app called Restream. It's not an app, it's a website. And it's how we are able to record from one place and send it to all the different websites at one time. That's how it's on my Facebook, YouTube, X, Rumble, Sean's Facebook. So I send Sean a link where he can log in and do it. But what I think its intended purpose is when we're not sitting beside each other.
Yeah.
It is when we're like off location Zoom.
Like we did the other night.
Yeah, I think that's the intended. But
I just need to click restream off when we do it. Log into it and then click it off.
Yeah, I guess so. I guess. I mean, see if it's just out of curiosity. I'll pull up and look. I wonder if it's still streaming.
Yeah, I'm
from
looking
your
at
personal page.
It is right now.
Is it? Okay, good.
Yeah, it still is.
Yeah. 'Cause that seems like a glitch for some reason. They shouldn't do that. But anyway, not to wear y'all out with the technicalities of what we're doing here. Let's check out some comments real quick. Let's see here. First off, thank everybody for sitting here watching two nut jobs talk about sports at a ball on a Sunday. Really do appreciate everybody logging in. If y'all would, man, if it ain't too big of an ask, hit the share button wherever you're watching right now. If it's on Facebook, man, especially on Facebook, that goes so far into getting this in front of other people's timelines that may be interested. Really help this platform grow and get some people out here today. Also, X, hit share there. If you're watching on YouTube, hit the like button. Rumble, hit the like button, whatever. Appreciate everything you guys do. If nothing else, just watch it. But we do appreciate the engagement. It does help with the algorithm. I know everybody says that, but they say it because it's true. And it just makes a huge difference. So, all right. Let's see here. Jonathan says, when Brady beat the Falcons in 2017 Super Bowl, they lost twice to the Giants. He said, when Brady beat the Falcons in 2017 Super Bowl, they lost twice to the Giants in Super Bowl. Gotcha. Yeah, they did lose twice to the Giants.
07.
They lost to Philadelphia. Have they lost 3 or 4 Super Bowls?
They've lost. The Patriots lost 2.
No, Patriots lost
Or
2.
Excuse me, 3.
Yeah.
3. No, there's a franchise they've lost 4. They lost in 1985 season to the Bears.
Mm-hmm.
But with Brady, the Brady Patriots lost 3.
3.
Yeah, they lost Giants twice and to the Eagles in 18.
And I mean, for all intents and purposes, I don't remember the second Giants Super Bowl. Was it close?
I don't remember that. I mean, I remember watching that game, but yeah,
I know the first one's the David Tyree catch.
Yeah.
The helmet catch, all that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I just don't remember the second game much.
Yeah, I mean, I remember it, but I don't remember the score. But I remember watching the game.
Then, of course, we talked about this the other day. They got that freebie from Seattle.
Yep, the freebie, 2015.
But, that goes back to kind of what we were just talking about with the – I know we talked about this very conversation last week, so I apologize if y'all are listening twice. But we talked about this is what makes the Chiefs so dangerous today. The Chiefs know how to win.
Oh, yeah.
They know how to close out games, just like the Patriots did. The Patriots, yes, you get lucky, but preparation and luck – what's the old saying about luck? And luck is preparation or something. Blah,
Yeah,
blah, blah.
right.
There's some multiplier there.
Yeah.
It was what's his name from Vicksburg, being in the right place at the right time and Malcolm Butler catching that interception, and going down, and not trying to run it back out,
No,
and just so many things, and just good coaching and knowing how to close out games. I said this the other day. I mean, I think that cost Ole Miss some big wins this year. Just not knowing how to close out, and that comes with experience and consistency and staying together as a team.
Right.
And the Patriots were able to do that for a long time with some interchangeable parts, and the Chiefs have been able to do that with their core group. I mean, like everybody thought that it was going to be over when what's his name, the wide receiver Tyreek Hill went to Miami, but Tyreek's great. He's made it clear he ain't going back to Miami. His contract says different.
Yeah,
but
right.
he's saying he's not going back to Miami. But could you see a Tyreek back in KC? I mean, dude, does it even matter? Honestly,
they're kind of like you said. I mean, with the Patriots, were able to plug and play these guys over the years.
It's all about system.
It was a system. It wasn't, it wasn't like. I mean, yes, Randy Moss had a great that 07 season. He was incredible. But other than that, can you name another Patriots receiver except for Gronk as a tight end? That was just this.
The white dude. Multiple white dudes.
Julian Edelman was good. Yeah.
Julian Edelman. Yeah, and then there was another one before him.
Another white. I'm trying to think. I remember Edelman was good. He had Terry Glenn, who was in the 2000s, was really good. Dante Stallworth. Those guys.
Stallworth.
Huh?
Forgot about Stallworth.
Yeah, Stallworth was there in the aughts, or whatever you want to call it.
Yeah,
and,
I hate that phrase.
Yeah, me too. It was great. The interesting thing though, this discussion about the Chiefs and the Patriots. I was listening to somebody talk about this on ESPN yesterday. It's kind of like, how the Patriots became a hated organization. They were like the evil empire, like the Patriots, because they were so good. So when you're so good, you get a lot of haters, because you're so good. Now, but there was also
we get it with our show.
Yeah, there you go. Right. No, they were talking about how there was things about the Patriots that you could hate. Bill Belichick was an old curmudgeon. Tom Brady was too perfect. He was the super good-looking guy that was great, and he seemed like an asshole, right? But they were talking about but the Chiefs are different because Andy Reid's like a really likable guy. Mahomes has been nothing but just an exemplary person, right?
Yeah.
it's hard to hate them, but people still do, not the way they did the Patriots, but they still hate, they're still, because they're so good. So basically people hate when people are good. We're all haters. That's what it boils down to. People hate that.
They do, and I think with the Chiefs, then you throw the Taylor Swift stuff in, and there's this multiplier, because people either love or hate her. There's not a whole lot of people that are in between, and they feel like the NFL went too hard with putting the camera on her all the time.
Yeah.
I started out, I didn't like it, I'll be honest, but now it's almost kind of fun to see how quick the camera goes to Taylor anytime Kelsey catches a ball.
Yeah.
And like, are they going to catch her not celebrating? Like, she seems to be into it, but she also knows the camera's on her.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and look, her relationships with Brittany Mahomes and all, like they've got a really close relationship. It's, I think it's, I think Taylor was the only thing that people could have been some controversy about the Chiefs, but other than that, it's they've been kind of the perfect franchise in terms of personalities, so they were just having this big discussion about they're still hated even though everybody likes Mahomes. I mean, nobody hates Patrick Mahomes, right? Nobody, but a lot of people hated Brady. People, you remember this, Clay? People would say back in Brady's heyday, it's Belichick. It's not Brady. This is before he pulled that, last Super Bowl, I think, even.
Yeah.
Like, it's his system. It's Belichick. He's just a, low draft pick. This is him getting lucky because of Bill Belichick. You've never heard that about Patrick Mahomes. You've never heard anybody say that he's not great. Like, there's no one's ever said that.
No, well, you don't hear the system quarterback thing with Mahomes.
You've never heard it. Like, no one's ever just said Patrick Mahomes is not an incredible talent that he is, and he is. But Brady, in most of his career, I think he suffered from that. People did not think he was anything that big a deal.
Well, I'm gonna tell you, I was just sitting here thinking about it as you were talking. I think one of the reasons why people hated, I was going back, like, why do people hate the Patriots and why do they hate Brady so much? Well, Brady made it easy with, having a supermodel wife. Like, he was the guy that every guy wanted to be.
Right.
And most guys hate that guy.
Yeah, it's true.
But he really has turned into like a guy's guy over the years. I mean, he's a very rich guy's guy.
Yeah.
But I mean, he came with very humble beginnings. He wasn't rich, none of that stuff. And he was able to keep it together as the biggest star in sports. He never got in any trouble, like real trouble.
No.
I mean, Deflategate, which is a crock of crap.
Yeah.
But the other thing I was thinking about, why do people really hate Tom Brady, and I think it goes back to the butt fumble. Not the butt fumble, the fumble game in the AFC Championship game against the Raiders.
The tuck rule.
The tuck rule.
The tuck rule game. Yeah.
Like, that really pissed a bunch of people off.
Yeah, that did. That was the one that sent them to their first Super Bowl, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was a tuck rule, and they ended up changing the rule, and that one soured people.
Yeah, that bothered. There's actually a really good 30 for 30 about that one too.
Mm-hmm.
But,
And then the Deflategate, I think, was like the revenge for the tuck rule.
Oh, and don't forget the videotaping the Jets. That they threw, even though that was Belichick, they threw that on Brady.
100%.
He got thrown with that too. Oh, and then there was a time, even after at 16, Brady had a MAGA hat in his locker. Remember?
I remember.
Yeah, and then people got mad at him about that.
Yeah.
So there was a lot of things.
And that's when I started liking him.
Yeah.
I was like, y'all don't like him for that? Well, damn it, you're going to make me like Tom Brady.
Because I think Kraft, Belichick, and Brady all were friends with Trump, weren't they? I think all three of them. Yeah.
Still are.
And so there were all these things, but Patrick Mahomes just doesn't get any of that, and it's interesting that he hasn't.
Well, I told you the other day, some of it's because he's mixed.
Yeah, could be.
It eliminates the race aspect. Mm-hmm. He is married to a white girl.
Yeah.
Which, I mean, it don't matter. I mean, most of the NFL is married to white girls.
Right.
White or black. So they can't really hold that against him.
Tim Scott, the Republican senator, is married to one woman, I mean,
like I said, most of all your NFL and most of all your pro athletes are married to white girls.
Yeah.
It is what it is. I don't control that. But I think that him being mixed, and he doesn't define himself as a white or black guy either.
No.
And so I think it eliminates any potential racial stuff from either side. He stays out of the politics stuff as best he can, and he's just we talked about this already, but he's a word ninja in these press conferences. They try to get him to do it, and he just does not take the bait anytime. And
no, that's true. And I mean, and Brady also, now I'm just remembering this, So Brady, before he was with Giselle, he had a relationship with Bridget Moynihan, you know, the actress, and I think they had a kid together that he didn't have a whole lot to do with initially. So people thought he's a deadbeat dad. I remember that kind of accusations being thrown at him. I don't know if that was true or not, but that's what people were saying at that point.
I have my doubts that
Yeah.
that was true.
Yeah,
I mean, you know, like you can only have so much to do with a kid that the woman will allow you
Yeah.
to have to do. And at the end of the day, you know, you had a kid with a NFL quarterback, you know, whose life revolves around that. I mean, if you don't live together, it's hard to have a lot to do with the kid.
And I think I saw later documentaries that Giselle actually helped raise that kid too. Like you know, they did have a good relationship. So maybe that wasn't true, but he just had he had all these things where Mahomes
You know, I think he
didn't-
cheated on. I think he cheated on, if my memory serves me correct, cheated on her with Giselle.
Yeah, I think that's right.
I think they were pregnant at the same time.
Oh, okay. There you go. See.
Don't quote me on that, but,
No, but I think you're right. It's
think
something
it was
like
something
that.
real close, you know. And
Yeah.
I mean, what he was just being a dude, man. He was banging a couple really, really hot chicks and pull out game week.
Yeah.
But it's going to be illegal in Mississippi soon.
Yeah,
If
that's
Democrats
true.
have any say so.
If that, you know, what's it called? Yeah, if it passes. But the,
It ain't going to pass. But
no, it's not. But
it's fun to talk. I got tagged in a post by some random Democrat that I don't know earlier, thanking me for bringing attention to it, being a smartass.
Yeah.
Yeah. We want to thank Clay Edwards for bringing attention to Bradford Blackman's bill because it wouldn't have gone viral without him. I was like, well, I know you're being a smartass, but I'll take the compliment. I'm glad that I have such control.
Yeah. You got the Daily Beast to pick it up, right?
Yeah. I got, because of me, it went nuclear viral. I will take the compliment. As a matter of fact, it did. As a matter of fact, it did. Democrats, we don't want to do anything else stupid. Or Republicans, I don't want to leave y'all out of this. Y'all do stupid stuff too. Y'all got any stupid bills, you know, queued up, ready to go? Let me know, and we'll get it. We will get it viral for you. I just logged on to TikTok. I'm streaming live there from my phone. So, folks on TikTok, if y'all wonder what we're doing, we're out here at Cypress Point, Cameron's Garage, big badass sports bar. Kind of show y'all what's going on here. Crowd's starting to come on in. It is slam packed next door. I got my boy Sean there. Sean, tell TikTok, hey.
What's up?
We got Sean here. We're out here at Cameron's Garage, Cypress Point Resort. AFC, NFC championship games today. They start at 2, I believe. The first kickoff is at 2, or maybe coverage starts at 2, kicks off at 2:30.
I think is kickoff at 2?
Is it? Well,
I think it's at 2, like 10 minutes, right?
yeah, we're going to be talking through it a little bit.
Okay.
Because they got 2 hours, they get 2 hours. So with that said, TikTok, if you're out and about looking for something to do today, come on out here. Or people listening on the other platforms that just logged in. All you can eat boneless wings, $14.99. Buckets of Bud Light, Budweiser, 5 beers, only $14. That's less than $3 a beer. And we got a bunch of badass door prizes we're giving away too. You got to buy a bucket of beer to get a ticket for that, or you can scan. I got these little table tents I was supposed to put together, but I got here late. I'll do that here shortly. I've got these little table tents. You can scan the QR code and you can register like that. Just give me your email address, and boom, you will be registered for badass door prizes. We got these 3 retro Budweiser posters from the 1950s. They're movie poster size. They're huge. That we're going to give away as a set of 3. So somebody's going to win all 3. Get them framed. I tried to buy frames, but it's such a big size. They do not have those available readily in poster size frames at Walmart. They're $50 a piece on Amazon, but apparently found another link where you can get them cheaper. Anyway, that's going to be on y'all. I'm not going to buy the frames. They were like $20 a piece. I was going to do it. Couldn't find them. So you'll be on your own if you win the posters. But they're badass, and they're one of a kind. So I just ask you, don't stick tacks in them, hanging them on your wall, because these are better than that.
Yeah, get them framed.
Yeah, this is something you're going to want to get framed. But yeah, anyway, so we're on TikTok. If y'all want to know what we were doing there, I just kind of logged on there without any context to what we were doing. So TikTok, don't go anywhere. I'm keeping you on. The rest of the folks over here on Facebook, YouTube, X, and Rumble, the audience is growing there instead of going the other way. So people must be enjoying the conversation. We appreciate y'all there. I'm going to take the big wrap I have on the screen off. We're going to move y'all's comments, your live comments, to the screen here. So everybody can see everybody's comments across the different platforms, because, hey, we like you guys being a part of the show as well. And again, we're out here. Sean, were you able to find the prop bets?
Yep, I did.
All right, so let's talk about the most popular prop bets on today's games here. Between you got the Commanders at Eagles, and you've got Buffalo at KC. Sean, what are some of the best prop bets?
Travis Kelce over 70.5 receiving yards. Travis Kelsey over 70.5 receiving yards.
Travis Kelsey over 70 and a half.
Yep.
That's tough. That's tough. Defenses get better in the playoffs. Buffalo, I'll take it.
Okay, it's minus 111. I don't know how they score that.
I'm not 100% sure.
Yeah.
That's something on the money line, I think.
And then Khalil Shakir over 58.5 receiving yards.
I don't even know who that is.
That's Buffalo Bills wide receiver.
Buffalo Bills wide receiver. What's the number?
It's 58.5 receiving yards, minus 108.
58 and a half. 58 and a half.
Yeah.
Is he the number one receiver for the Bills?
Yes, he is.
I feel like I should know that. I apologize. If he's the number one
They
receiver,
have a really bad receiving core this year, so it doesn't matter. That's why you don't know.
Yeah.
Because they lost Stephon Diggs last year, and so
if he's the number one receiver, and they've made it this far, I like his chances to do it. I don't know what does KC's pass defense look like. I know their defensive line is good with Chris Jones.
Yeah.
But
it's not great. Steve Spagnuolo obviously is our defensive coordinator, so they're he's doing a good job with trying to shore up their corner. The cornerbacks are not the best.
Yeah.
So.
All right. What else we got?
Josh Allen anytime touchdown, which I don't know exactly how that they mean by that. It says minus 120. I guess he scores Josh Allen scores a touchdown personally, not throws one, runs one.
If he runs one,
yeah, runs.
If he breaks the end zone,
yeah, he breaks. He does that a lot,
If they get in the red zone, it's very likely.
Yeah,
I mean he's a big old boy.
He is a big dude.
Old boy.
Patrick Mahomes to record 3+ passing touchdowns.
Oof, man. Yeah, I mean it's hard to say no. Like here's my thing with Mahomes. I'm speaking from just dollars and cents here, not who I want to win. I'm at my level with Mahomes where I was at with Brady.
Yeah.
Until somebody beats him, you know what? I'm not picking against him. And I know this ain't got much to do with the actual outcome of the game. I don't know if Mahomes has 3 passing touchdowns,
they're gonna win.
They're gonna win.
Yeah.
I firmly believe that.
Yeah, that's going to be a pretty big one. Let's see, that was the one now this one is from FanDuel, and which they've got A.J. Brown 4.5 receptions. I guess that's the Washington Commanders game.
Yeah, so AJ with Philadelphia 4.5 possessions.
Receptions.
4.5.
Yeah.
So he got to get the ball 5 times.
Yeah, basically, right. Yeah.
4 would be a push, or 4 would be a loss. So yeah, AJ Brown getting the ball 5 times. That seems like easy money.
Yeah, that seems like a pretty cheap right there too. Yeah, I mean, they've got all these different sites have different prop bets. This actually be a fun thing to start betting on.
Oh yeah,
you know,
you got to go to the casino and do it here in Mississippi.
Yeah, that's I mean,
or call your bookie.
Well, okay, running back Austin Eckler 25+ receiving yards for the Washington Commanders.
Running back with 25+ receiving yards.
Yeah,
man. I mean, you could get that in one big play, because the way that works. For people that don't know, if you throw, it could be a 1-yard shovel pass, but if he runs for 25 yards, and yards after catch count as the receiving yards.
Yeah.
Which I always thought was weird. I think you should do yards after catch. I don't think if Mahomes throws a 5-yard slant and the guy takes it to the house, that's not an 80-yard pass.
Well, I've got so the Huddle has got the 5 top prop bets, right?
All right, let's do that. So
Philadelphia Eagles QB Jalen Hurts over 188.5 passing yards.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. Well, they do have Saquon. What have they got an over/under for Saquon rushing yards?
I haven't got there. It might be on the list. Let me scroll down. Number 4 is Washington Commanders tight end Zach Ertz over 33.5 receiving yards. I'd take that.
Yeah, I'll take that.
I'd take that too.
Take that.
Okay, here's your question. Philadelphia Eagles running back Saquon Barkley under 125.5 rushing yards. I'll take that. I don't think he's gonna. You know what I mean?
All right, what is the Saquon one?
It's under 125.5.
Yeah, I don't think he's going over 125.
Yeah, that's a lot. That's tough.
a lot.
That's tough, man.
That's a lot. So I can't bet Jalen Hurts to go over 180. What is it? 180 something.
188.5.
180. So let's just say 190. If he goes over 190 passing yards, I don't think Jalen is getting over 125 rushing yards.
Yeah.
It's just going to depend. It's going to come down to the fourth quarter, and who's got the ball. If Philadelphia's in the lead in the fourth, they're going to get the ball to Saquon every damn down.
Right.
Like run the clock, as long as it's working.
Yeah.
You know.
Kansas City, Travis Kelce scores a touchdown. I'd take that.
Yeah, I'll take that.
I'll take that.
You know, Travis Kelce in big games. Travis Kelce comes up big in big games.
He does every time.
He's like that's why he's a Hall of Famer. I don't, whether you like his girlfriend or not, Travis Kelce shows up big in big games because Mahomes trusts him.
Yeah.
And it's the same thing with Gronkowski. It's why Gronkowski got drugged to Tampa Bay.
He caught a big Kelce caught a big pass last weekend too.
He did.
So, that's kind of redundant. He always does.
Yeah.
Okay, now here the last one is Josh Allen rushes for over 47.5 yards.
Josh Allen
will take that.
Josh Allen rushing for over 47.5. Yeah. Again, he could bust that on one play.
And he does that all the time.
Yeah. I like that.
Yep.
I like it. That would be my least. I don't know that I'd bet on it, but I like it.
Yeah, I can see it.
It scares me because that is asking a lot of a quarterback, especially in a playoff game.
But he can do it.
I like him scoring a rushing touchdown more than I like him rushing for more than 47 yards.
Right. Yeah. I mean, at 47, he does that. He does those long runs though.
Yeah.
All the time. That he just never know. I mean, he just breaks through like at the 50-yard line. He'll just run in the end zone. So
yeah,
I can see it. But okay. Well, we're almost game time. Who's our picks?
Let's do that.
It's about to start. They're
doing
singing
the national anthem
right now. Oh.
I always feel awkward. Like, should I stand up? It's like does it only count when you're there?
I think it's when you're there.
All right. So it was funny. They said the national anthem's playing on TV for the football game, and you got West Point women's basketball or volleyball on, and they're doing the national anthem simultaneously also. Anyway, so they're all kind of standing up. All right, what are the lines on the first game?
-6, Philadelphia.
Philadelphia -6. Does it have the over/under?
Let me look it up. Let's see. I didn't see that on my other list, but
I'm going to take Washington to win heads up.
Okay.
They're hot. Of course, they're both hot. They made it this far, right? You're hot if you made it to your championship, AFC championship, NFC championship game. I'm going to take Washington to win heads up. If Philly wins, they don't cover.
Okay. I agree with you. I think we're gonna be the same on that one.
I think if Philly wins, it's by 3.
Yeah, I'm with you on that one. I think I would have to go with a. Let me see if the.
It's also the game that I predict goes overtime.
Could see that too easily. I'm gonna say, look, my pick would be, I'm gonna say Commanders 31, Eagles 30.
Okay.
I'm gonna get that's what I'm gonna.
I'm not a good score picker like that. Like that's just kind of making stuff up. But like on my end, I'm not very good at that. So I will avoid picking a score.
Okay. But
I think that Washington wins heads up. If they don't, it'll be close either way. I don't think either wins by more than a field goal. Right. Let me make sure I'm clear there. I don't think they win by more than 3 either team. But I'm leaning towards. I'll take the 6 points. If I'm betting, I'm taking the 6 points, and Washington.
Okay.
I like the line. I like that. That's almost a college spread.
It really is. And I mean, I'm taking Washington too. I think they're going to win. I'm going straight up winning, and I'm with you on the within the 3-point margin.
Within 3-point margin, yeah, I agree.
And the over under is 46.5.
Over.
Over. Okay.
I like over. It's got to go over if your score's right.
Yeah. I'm gonna take over obviously too on that one.
Yeah. So I like the over. Like what I don't hear about any of these teams is I don't hear anything about generationally great defenses. On any of them.
No, there's not. And I mean, the Bills.
There's some great players here and there,
like Matt Milano and the Bills.
Yeah, Chris Jones and the Chiefs, and I'm partial to Chris Jones. He went to Mississippi State. He's from Mississippi.
Oh, is he? Chris Jones from Mississippi?
Okay. Yeah, he's from Mississippi, and he was the number 1 recruit that year, and he went to pick State over Ole Miss.
Wow. Okay.
He had a great career at State.
I just the defense. Actually, I've kind of read about that too. No team's got this great defense. That's a good point. This is going to be offensive championship games and Super Bowl, all about who's got the best offense. Who's going to score the most?
Lane says, being a lifelong Pats fan, lifelong going back to 2001, Lane, being a lifelong Pats fan. So being a lifelong Pats fan it's hard for me to pull for the Bills, but FKC. Yeah, I definitely see it hard being you AFC East guys.
Oh, I mean, same here, man. I'm like, it's tough. It's tough. I'm a lifelong Dolphins fan, pulling for our most hated rival.
Yeah, I didn't even think about that. Yeah, I mean, Sean is a legitimate. Lane is a real deal Pats fan too, and Sean is a legitimate Dolphins fan.
Yeah,
and they do play in the same division. And I don't know any Jets fans.
yeah, I do. I know a couple, but God bless.
Yeah, God bless them.
Yeah, it's bad.
So, what's the line in the second game?
It's 1.5.
1.5.
Yeah.
I'm not going to pick against Patrick Mahomes at home in a championship game until Josh Allen beats him and can prove he can do it. He's 0-3.
Yep.
I think the sun, moon, and stars are all lined up for it to happen. I'm not going to be the least bit surprised, and I'm pulling for it to happen. But if I'm betting Kansas City. I'm giving up the 1.5, and I'm betting Kansas City until the wheels fall off. And it may very well happen today.
Yeah. No, I mean, look, I think that's a safe bet as the Chiefs. I'm gonna go crazy and pick the Bills to win.
Yeah.
I'm taking the Bills on it. I feel like it's Josh Allen's time.
Yeah.
I think it's time. Yeah, I think it's time. He's had one of the best seasons he's ever had. Maybe that he's ever had. And the Chiefs are great. And the only reason I feel like the Chiefs win is because of experience. But in talent, I think Josh Allen this season has played better than Mahomes has. So.
Yeah. I mean, here's the thing too. Are all the votes in for the NFC for the MVP? Has everybody cast their vote yet?
I think they have, but it doesn't come out till after this game.
Yeah, it comes out next week.
Yeah,
they'll announce
right.
who the winner of the MVP is, and I don't know how it's not Josh Allen if it's down to Josh Allen or Lamar Jackson.
Mm-hmm.
Again, I keep saying this. You could give it to Mahomes every year.
Yeah.
And frankly, it's ridiculous that you don't. Because there is nobody that's more important to their team.
Yeah.
And by every metric that they judge that award on, it could be Mahomes every year. Mm-hmm. And for whatever reason, it's not. Because I guess maybe it's just too easy to be. Like sometimes they just don't want to go with the way it should go, just
right.
because it's
easy to give to Mahomes.
Yeah, I think it should be Mahomes. But hey, whatever. I think it's Josh Allen. If Josh Allen wins today, it's absolutely Josh Allen. If the votes are not in today.
Yeah.
We need to look at that. And what we'll do is, if we're still here, we'll come back at halftime and break down some.
Yeah.
Are you leaving?
Yeah, I gotta go.
Oh, you gotta go. Okay.
Yeah, I gotta go.
Girlfriend?
No, that's not a girlfriend issue today. it's a work thing.
I got you. All right. Well, look, Sean's got to go. I thought we were watching the game together. I've been misled. There's misinformation. Well, I'm going to be out here. I'm live at Cypress Point here at Cameron's Garage. Y'all come hang out with me. I'm going to be here for the duration, most likely. I damn sure ain't getting out in the rain. And so I'm going to leave everything set up for a minute in case I want to go back live again. And y'all come hang out with us. Brandon, Mississippi. The other part of Brandon, off Highway 25, not the downtown Brandon part. The former McLean's Lodge. It's all you can eat boneless buffalo wings, any flavor. It is $14.99 for that. It's $14 for buckets of Bud Light, and Mick Ultra. And then it is door prizes and more great stuff. We're going to have a good time today. Crowd is getting on in here. It's pouring down rain outside. So I appreciate everybody that's here. Sean, appreciate you.
Yeah.
I'll see you back next week. And, of course, we'll be back out here live for the Super Bowl. Going to be a good time. February 9th, we'll get the schedule together and figure out what time we're going to be here. I'm thinking noon to 2, something like that. Maybe, I don't know, kickoff's 5:30.
Is it?
Usually. Yeah, so we'll figure that out. They got a band and stuff that day. We don't want to be broadcasting on top of them.
Right.
So they'll have a band up to kickoff. Acoustic Crossroads, which I thought was today. I got that wrong. But anyway, all right, that's it, man. That's a wrap here from Cameron's Garage at Cypress Point. You guys, get on out here if you're in Lincoln County. Full day of football. Come eat, hang out with me. I got FAFO merch here if you want to buy a hat, shirt, hoodie. We got it all, and we're going to be giving away some great door prizes. Who knows? I may give away some FAFO products as part of the door prizes if I'm not happy with everything that we got. So y'all be blessed.